You're tuned in to Steve Megatron on Altered Geek.
Hello and welcome to Project Altered Geek. Yes, that's the subtitling of the episode until episode 200, where I figure out what I plan to do from there. So, joining me this week is...
Steve and Mike. I don't like projects. Projects are bad.
That's essentially what they are.
Yeah. There's too much gunfire.
So... too much gunfire. Stop talking about Texas like that.
I thought I was talking about Flint, Michigan and the dirty water.
They're all done with the dirty water. Nobody cares about us anymore. No, I was talking about a scenario that happened recently. There was one in Texas recently where people were...
Okay, so... All right, since you brought up Texas, I just saw on Facebook before we started recording this. East Texas radio station bans all Madonna music following Women's March comments.
Don't surprise me. You know, the other thing that's kind of perfect about it is about nobody liking Madonna. Mm-hmm. Nobody likes Madonna. So, it's that
she can't justify her love on this one.
What's love got to do with it?
That's Tina Turner. Come on, man.
I thought it was hilarious.
You know, Madonna has been a lucky star all these years.
Oh, we all knew she wasn't no virgin.
All right, let's get off Madonna for once.
I don't want to be on Madonna. Horrible puns for you and for me.
Yes.
So yes. In conclusion, last week we had some pretty good listener comments. So, by the way, for those that are completely lost, this podcast is on alteredgeek.com.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can get the episodes there, or Blog Talk Radio, or all of your podcatchers. But that is where you would comment on the post. And so, if I can get this to open up, for some reason, the previous episode's post has been having problems opening on the website. And I have no idea why. Like the graphics, and it depends on where you click it. Like if you click it from the recent comments, everything shows up. But if you click it from the featured banner, nothing works. Like nothing appears except for the title. It's the weirdest thing in the world. So Brad Mull commented about the upcoming movie conversation we're having, and he says, funny enough, episode 8 is probably the one that he'll go to the theater for. We'll talk about that in a little bit, actually. Yep. Interesting to see how they will plot another Death Star into it. Cars 3 will be interesting. They knocked Toy Story 3 out of the park, and I feel the same about the trilogy as I do the Cars trilogy. And I also enjoy planes. He says, after just seeing Suicide Squad, nothing from DC interests me this year. I'm just not going to waste my time.
Now, see,
I think that they actually have something this year.
Yeah.
Although, if we keep getting images of them stuck in that same building, I'm going to start thinking that the movie takes place in that building and nowhere else.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say that what is coming this year for DC besides Justice League? Isn't the
Wonder Woman?
Wonder Woman. I mean, come on, Brad. The first ever Wonder Woman feature film.
The first ever female superhero that isn't a joke. And when I say not a joke, I mean that got her own movie that's not a joke. Yeah. I would love to see a Black Widow movie.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen. We're going to get a Captain Marvel movie before we get that. Yeah. So, Yeah, and then he says, I'm also liking the Power Rangers trailer. If it's dump popcorn fun like the originals, I'll be happy. There's a low bar there. Logan looks good. Transformers would be on my list also, since I'm one of the select few that have no issues on the live action films, and Lego Batman should be fun as well.
Yeah, I keep seeing the Lego Batman trailers on Facebook and stuff, and the more and more I see of those, the more and more I want to see the movie. And I don't know if anyone really knows this, but I was not the biggest fan of the original The Lego Movie because it had a plot that centered around a character that was essentially a made-up character for the film. But when the Lego stuff does franchise stuff like Batman, Superman, I love that kind of stuff. So the Lego Batman movie looks absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, I have to agree. But yeah, as far as the Transformers, I have a problem with the films, but that's just more so aesthetics. It's not necessarily, and it's poor writing. I have higher hopes for this next film, so that is speaking volumes. We'll get into Logan again later as well. Mm-hmm. I guess we can talk about Cars 3 really quick. I mean, I'm kind of stoked for this one, unlike the previous two Cars, only for the fact, I mean, I enjoyed them.
First one.
Yeah, I enjoyed them for what they were, but I like the aesthetics that we're getting with 3.
Yeah. The teaser trailer, the very first teaser trailer where they show him when they show Lightning kind of crashing, it was kind of like, oh, it's a new kind of animation style. It's going to be more 3D-ish. It's going to be a little bit different. And then the newest trailer pops up, and we do see that same style of 3D-ish animation, but we also see the classic style that the first two movies had, which I'm fine with. I have no problems with. I'm very much looking forward to Cars 3.
Yeah, I agree. So, and then he says, update from last correspondence. I downloaded the new update for the Netflix app after the last show. There's a wide range of TV shows and movies you can download. They all go into my downloads area. Items downloaded don't appear to have an expiration date until you watch them. Once a film's watched, you have 48 hours before it's removed by Netflix.
Okay.
So
that's
so
yeah.
Yeah, so far loving the download feature because I'm on the road a lot. I've been able to watch a heap of new TV shows and films that I've missed over the last year, which that is actually really awesome.
Yeah. What he's talking about there is almost like what iTunes does. When you rent a movie on iTunes, you don't buy it. You just pay $1.99, $2.99, $3.99, whatever it is. If you rent a movie on iTunes, you have 30 days to watch that movie. But as soon as you watch it, you can only watch it for 24 hours. So because it's a rental, it's not a purchase. I mean, it's kind of the same. The way that Netflix, now that Brad points this out to us, the way that Netflix is doing this and the way that iTunes does theirs, the way I look at it is it's just like having a video store if you're going to rent something. Video stores, we used to have 5 days for some rentals. New release,
it was like one day unless you paid an obscene amount.
Yeah.
And then
then
it was 5 days
for older,
up to.
Yeah, for older movies. So I'm fine with that. I don't need to download stuff from Netflix, but I've been watching a whole hell of a lot of TV between last summer and now, almost the last year and a half. I have been watching so much stuff. This year, what I kind of started focusing on was any TV show that came out in 1992, TV show, cartoon, whatever. Like later this year, my buddy Eduardo and I are going to be doing more reviews of X-Men, the animated series, since that has its 25th anniversary this year. I've been going through on Hulu and rewatching Melrose Place, the original Melrose Place, not the reboot that they tried to do. And I'm already up to the 4th season on that out of 7. Between Netflix, Hulu, and a few other online streaming things that I've found, I've just been watching a hell of a lot of TV. I watched Gotham for this week. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but the one thing I'll say about it is it's probably the best episode Gotham has ever done.
You're not going to spoil it for him?
No, not this time. Last time I made a few comments about a couple episodes of Daredevil Season 2 in the first weekend it debuted on Netflix, and people lost their stuff. So I am not spoiling anything for anybody.
Say something about Gotham and everyone loses their mind.
Yes, exactly.
I thought that was
Yes.
pretty tasteful.
I mentioned this last week, I think, and I haven't really looked at. I really should look at TVGuide.com to find out what's going on Thursday nights. But I do know that Tuesdays is Flashing the Legends because Flash is on at 8 and Legends is on at 9 on Tuesdays now. So I am not sure what's going on for Thursday night viewing for the CW. I'm actually going to look right now for what the heck is going on with it. But what other things have you been watching? Movies, whatever, what have you, that kind of stuff. What's been going on with your TV and movie viewing?
Well, I know I mentioned how we attempted Amazon and Hulu
and a crashing keyboard.
Yeah, weird. Yeah, with cleaning my office, things aren't.
Did you throw it?
I whacked my headset. I didn't have enough cord clearance. So after that fiasco that I'm not editing,
it's whack-a-mole, people. It's whack-a-mole.
It's the special edit time with your host. So yeah, I mean, I've been going back to school recently. I've got and then going back to the TV conversation before I lose my mind there. And it's getting hard with the streaming stuff because Netflix keeps losing some of their good programming, and they keep getting worse programming every month.
Okay, so I came home from California almost 3 weeks, almost a month ago. Well, it was earlier this month, but I came home from California, and my one thing that I wanted to go back to watching was the old Peter Falk Columbo show. They had all the seasons on Netflix. I had started watching because I wanted to watch something classic, something old, and looking at the Columbo show and just looking at the technology back then when that show is set, late 70s, early 80s, that kind of thing. And I wanted to do that. And when I came home, I'm like, oh, cool. I can, continue watching Columbo where I left off. Look on Netflix, it's not there. Look on Hulu, everywhere on Hulu, not there. So it's currently gone. Getting back into TV really quick. Us recording Altered Geek on Thursday nights is going to be a hell of a lot easier now to talk about all the superhero shows, because for the CW shows, Monday is Supergirl, Tuesday is Flash and Legends, Wednesday is Arrow. We can get them all done and all watched before we record on Thursday nights, because Thursday nights for CW now, Supernatural at 8, Riverdale at 9. Riverdale is the new Archie series.
Woo-woo. Yeah, I'm not watching Riverdale.
The only reason why I'm curious about it is because it has Cole Sprouse in it as Jughead, and he was Cody on Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Oh, so he actually got another job.
Yeah, he's one of those actors. We talked about this over on M-Wire that will be coming out in the future, where certain child actors kind of just go back to doing schoolwork or whatever. He and his twin brother Dylan, who played Zack and Cody, and they were also the kid in Big Daddy and whatever else, they kind of went back to school and kind of got out of the acting bit. But I saw him and I'm like, hey, it's Cody as Jughead. That's kind of cool. I really am not that interested in Riverdale, but I might check out the first episode if it pops up on Hulu or wherever it's going to pop up on. But my point here is superhero shows Monday to Wednesday. So by the time we record Thursday, we can actually have them all watched, because before, when Legends was on Thursday nights at 9, we never really could watch all four shows to talk about all of them by that time. But now that they're all in the first 3 days of the week, good deal for us. Good deal for you guys too.
Yes.
Yes.
I yes. So yeah, I enjoy all of that. But yeah, I kind of was a little peeved, to be honest, because um, half the stuff that not only my wife watched but that I watched
Hmm.
um, isn't going to be on Netflix really anymore. And then Hulu's not bad, but I'm still having a hard time finding stuff like that's of quality essence.
All right, so I recently found out that Hulu employed the Netflix option, where Netflix allows you 4 different profiles, and I set you up with it because I pay for Hulu. I pay for ad-free Hulu because I just don't want to see ads on Hulu.
Did you
So
know you lose out on some of the shows because of that?
really, well,
Yep, they actually have certain shows that will not show up on a ad-free Hulu because they don't want to go without ads,
well, that,
which I thought is
mo-
dog snot.
most of the shows that I watch don't do that. So luckily, like they've got the Nick Turtles series, they've got Superhero Squad, they've got, like I said, Melrose Place, they've got Spider-Man 94, X-Men 92, they've got my favorite investigation discovery show, Homicide Hunter, Saturday Night Live, that new show, Designated Survivor, Blind Spot. I'm just kind of looking through my thing here. They got Smallville on there, so that's cool. The Goldbergs, CSI, um, Party of Five. If anybody wants to watch Party of Five, they got Taxi on there. There's a bunch of good shows still on Hulu. Ooh, well, it's only 1 episode. I was gonna say they got Spider-Man Unlimited, but it's only 1 episode. They got Saved by the Bell, the college years, so there's that. But I just like Hulu for the option of the ad free and being able to watch next day episodes, like with Gotham, with the wrestling shows that I watch between Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live. With that, Emerald City is a new show on NBC. It's based off of The Wizard of Oz. It's a different, darker telling of the Wizard of Oz story. I'm really kind of liking that. You guys are going to get a remote control Take Five episode on that at some point. It basically, the Take Fives are where we talk about the first 5 episodes of the series without having to talk about the whole season. Lethal Weapon is still kicking ass in my mind.
I am loving that show.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no dislike for that show. I've been watching Pure Genius lately, which actually isn't that bad either. It like I mentioned, I may have mentioned this before. It's a little anticlimactic, only for the fact that nothing of substance actually happens to anyone in the cast. And I say that with the most respect because like the show is actually not that bad.
Yeah.
But what happens is they talk about stuff and they help people with these miraculous like recoveries, and it's a doctor procedural hospital type thing, but it's like a tech billionaire that creates his own hospital to cure diseases because he thinks he has one.
Okay.
And then it comes to find out that he tested negative for it, so he doesn't have it.
Interesting.
Not to spoil too much, but he's trying to help someone that he knows that does have it.
Interesting.
Has that disease
Very
that
cool.
he thought he had. So it's kind of a nice little twist series, and it's got a lot of some named people and some unnamed people. I mean, so it's kind of interesting. But I found that show is one of the ones that I like. Lethal Weapon, it's kind of hard to beat. And obviously I've been loving superhero shows, and then like Last Man Standing and stuff like that. I mean, I'm still watching Big Bang Theory and still watching all those shows.
Yeah.
But
I gotta catch up on Big Bang. I probably should go back and watch season 8 and 9 and catch up on 10 as well. I just haven't. It just isn't. It's not that I don't want to. It's just that I just kind of forget about it a little bit sometimes because I'm so used to watching it as it's on air. So,
I can see that a little bit.
yeah. Well, I'm used to watching it when it was actually, when I was actually had cable television. I did finally suffer through the rest of Fuller House season 2 on Netflix. That show.
I'd be curious to hear what you have to say about this. And I just watched, just to kind of throw fuel to the fire, the end of Girl Meets World.
Okay, so
all
right, so
I'm looking forward to hearing what you have to say.
So I've seen both. I've seen the last couple episodes of Girl Meets World, the series finale, because the show has ended, and I stomached my way through Fuller House. The problem with Fuller House is, in my mind, in season 2, they try too much to be what the old show used to be when the guest stars come on. When Danny and Joey are there, I love Dave Coulier and Bob Saget as those characters. I love those characters when they were on the original show. But as old men coming back, it just is so it feels out of place. It feels like it's not a natural flow. And then you get into the whole thing with DJ and Kimmy and Steph and everything else, and it wears on me because they want to be that 90s show still. They came from a show that most of us, not all of us, but a good chunk of America enjoyed. Full House. Everybody kind of tuned in. Hell, it got 8 seasons, you know. But sometimes in season 2, they focus too much on the adults and not enough on the kids. Whereas Girl Meets World, for season 3 of Girl Meets World, I thought in the middle there they were struggling because it just, like, I got the lessons of each episode, but they just weren't like, for me, when it came to Girl Meets World, I love the reunion episodes with the old cast. That's just the way I am. It just is what it is. In season 3, I would say right around Girl Meets Ski Lodge is kind of where, like, they had the whole Ski Lodge 2-parter thing. That was a little weird. Let's see what else. Any of the episodes with Sean, I absolutely love those because they finally were able to give Sean a happy ending by season 3, episode 10, which is Girl Meets I Do, where he and Katie get married. After that episode, it just kind of faded until the end. Girl Meets Christmas Maya was nice. That was episode 18 of season 3. Now, episode 19, they did World Meets Girl, which is basically they flipped the cameras around, brought a bunch of selected fans in, and showed you an entire behind-the-scenes look at how the show is made and everything else. I think that's great. I think that would be a great DVD feature. They should not have done that as an episode. And they even say in this episode, you're only doing this, Michael, so you don't have to write or come up with an episode, an idea for an episode this week, aren't you? He's like, oh, how'd you guess? Or he says something. I don't remember what he says in the episode. Maybe I'll grab the audio so you guys can hear it. But after that, we have Sweet 16 and then Girl Meets Goodbye, which is essentially, the final 2 episodes. And I love those 2 episodes. I think it's great. I think Girl Meets Goodbye was a nice ending for everybody, both Boy Meets World alums and Girl Meets World original characters. And the ending to it was just nice. Whereas the endings to Fuller House season 1 and season 2 just are kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, I like Fuller House, but I feel like they're trying to, they're trying to recapture too much of what was in the original, but at the same token,
they didn't capture it. They made fun of it, and that's not exactly like.
Well, in Girl Meets World, I feel like it's a natural evolution more so,
It is,
and
yes.
I get it a little bit with Fuller House, but like it's too 90s.
Yeah.
But some of their modern day jokes are too they aren't tasteful enough to let me have my kid watch it with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas the original was tasteful and I could have my kid watch it. See, I can let my kid watch Girl Meets World with me, whereas I can't with Fuller House.
Yeah. See, the thing with Boy Meets World, Girl Meets World versus Full House and Fuller House is that Boy Meets World was always meant to be a full-on fun family comedy / drama. Because at some point during those 7 seasons, there was all kinds of things that came up, whether they were little kids, whether they were high school kids, whether they were adults, and there was always a lesson to be learned. And the same thing with Girl Meets World. They brought that over. Mr. Feeney is no longer there. Corey went into teaching because of Mr. Feeney's influence, and he wanted to teach people the same way Mr. Feeney taught him. That's a natural character progression evolution. They do a bunch of callbacks to old Boy Meets World stuff throughout the 3 seasons of Girl Meets World. And that's all well and good. And people, the new Riley, Maya, Lucas, Farkle, all those characters learn from those past experiences. And that's what makes a good television show that's going to be a sequel to something that had already happened. And Girl Meets World is just a better show in my mind. Fuller House is hey, we're from the 90s, yay!
So getting on a happier note here. So I was looking up Lethal Weapon because I was looking for an image for another graphic I'm doing. And they've cast Leo Getz.
Oh no.
For the show.
Oh no.
You want to take stabs at it?
It's not Pesci, I know that.
I know it's not Pesci, he's too old.
Well, I'm just saying he was the original Leo Getz, but
just saying.
Oh no.
Sounds like so guess who it is?
Michael Fassbender?
Nope. He's on The Odd Couple right now.
Oh my god, why?
It's Thomas Lennon.
Who?
He plays Felix Unger on CBS's sitcom The Odd Couple.
Oh, okay.
He plays like a really weird type of character almost every time he's in something. I think they're going for a little bit different portrayal from him.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
I'm waiting to see, and then the role that what's her name from she's in Lethal Weapon 3 and 4. Renee Russo.
Lorna Cole, yeah.
Yeah, they basically have that character already in Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, it's the therapist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and they also have this other FBI chick that's going to be kind of playing.
Oh, yeah, that's role. Right. That's right.
So, I found this stuff while I was investigating graphics for the thing, and of course, when you search Lethal Weapon, it everything is the Mel Gibson one for.
That's because you have to.
Chunk.
That's because you have to add in
TV
series.
I do really like the television show though.
Yeah.
It's probably one of my favorite shows on TV right now.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving it because we're getting a very different Riggs. And I said this in the season 1 episode that DJ Valentine and I did. This is not Danny Glover. This is not Mel Gibson. These are names of those characters. All of the, you got Roger and Trish and their kids. Their kids' names.
Well, Mel Gibson was more of a manic version
right, and
of Riggs,
right,
and this one's more of a calm, like he hides it.
yeah, he hides
And
it
Murtaugh
well.
is more of a
Freak,
complainer.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, you have these character names from the film, but what Damon Wayans and Clay Crawford or Clayne Crawford, whatever his name is, I forget what the actor's name is off the top of my head. What they're doing with Riggs and Murtaugh is something completely different that was done in the films, and I like that because I don't want a copycat of Mel and Danny. I don't want a copycat. I want something that is going to take these characters in a new direction and do something interesting with them. And I think that's what Lethal Weapon is doing for the TV series.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. It's easy to enjoy this show.
Yep.
So yeah, let's get into some movies.
What's going
Episode
on with the
8.
movies? Yes, episode 8.
I was surprised when I saw that this information dropped. The Last Jedi.
Yes, The Last Jedi.
Which is also in the same coloring and style of Revenge of the Sith and Return of the Jedi.
Right.
But they're hitting it a little bit sooner than what they would. No, I mean, I'm pretty stoked. Somebody thought it would be funny, and I liked this on Twitter earlier.
Mm-hmm.
They put The Force Awakens next to it, so it says The Force Awakens, the Last Jedi.
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of hilarious. But yeah, I'm optimistic to hear what this is. I hope that they don't do the Death Star thing. I hope they do kind of like this is their Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah. I think I said in a Facebook comment, somebody posted something and I commented on it, and I said that I posted the picture, the poster revealing the title. And I tagged my buddy Harrison in it, and I said, he said, "Oh, The Last Jedi, that makes me think of it's going to be something like Return of the Jedi kind of thing." And my thought was, he said something about Rey isn't Luke's kid. I forget what he says, but I'm not looking.
I think he is. I think she is.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying that he said something where it made me come back with this, where The Last Jedi does not have to be a singular person. The way
Jedi is
plural. Yes. The reason why I think it is what it is because that Rey is going to be. Remember in the original trilogy, Luke is the last Jedi. He's our only hope. No, there is another. So it's one of those things where I think Rey is going to be the last Skywalker line Jedi, and we're going to see other Jedi Knights, kind of like a la Episode 1 when they used to be in power. I could be completely wrong in this, but I'm just saying I think it means she is the last of the Skywalker Jedis. There is no brother hidden somewhere or anything like that. Finn is not her damn brother. Anything like that. So that's what I think it means. I think it just means solely for the Skywalker family line. That's what I think the title means. Who the hell knows what the hell the actual plot and details are going to be for the thing.
Yeah, at this point, I don't even really know. I know there's going to be a showdown with Kylo Ren. I know Leia's going to have a more central part.
That's something we ought to talk about because, sadly, Carrie Fisher has passed away. And I think we might have brought this up last week. I don't remember if we did. Okay, we did. I don't know. I'm still getting back into the swing of things, folks. We know she's going to be in Episode 8 sporadically, but they're not going to use her after that for any other movies unless it's stuff that, a flashback kind of thing. That stuff that she's not going to have any more new footage. So Yeah, I don't know what Leia's role or involvement's going to be in The Last Jedi. I just, I want to be. I'm just waiting for that first teaser or the first full trailer for Last Jedi. Um, I still haven't even seen Rogue One yet. I know I need to see that, and I know it doesn't matter that I haven't seen it because it's technically a prequel film or a in between cool film kind of thing. But
I mean, it matters, but
well,
it gives Vader more
yeah,
depth,
yeah,
which is vastly needed.
right. And well, yeah, but I'm saying like I don't need to watch Rogue One in between episode 7 and 8. I mean, I'll watch it just to have the in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, but storyline wise, that's where it falls. It doesn't fall between uh, Force Awakens, The Last Jedi. So, you know,
No,
I'm very
I,
excited for the.
I,
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I think it would be funny if it was The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
use the Force, Luke. I've been using it for 30 years. What have you done for me? Um. So yeah, I'm optimistic for the film. Obviously, plus it's Star Wars.
Yep.
Um. So yeah, going into Logan.
Logan.
This looks like it's going to be an awesome film.
Yes, it does.
I don't even know. Like I'm so this and it's partially in thanks to Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
Because it showed that a R-rated movie
Right.
can do the trick.
Absolutely.
Same token though.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. This is loosely based off of Old Man Logan, is it not?
It's not really even based off of it
Okay.
in a sense. And I say that because like Old Man Logan is not even it's a totally different storyline. I mean, it's got the mutant the alien mutant like cyborg people,
Yeah.
but it's got like a lot of the Avenger people that are still alive and stuff like that. So that's my understanding of it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also this is the birth of X-23.
Right. And okay, folks, take it with a grain of salt. And I'm looking at sources on here.
He's looking at a grain of salt.
Yes. Hugh Jackman reveals official synopsis for Logan on Collider.com. It says in 2029. So it is a future. It's not now. It's not.
It's a future,
Yes.
though, because they referenced X-Men comics in it. He says, oh, we got an X-Men fan here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And I think that's very, very cool. I think that's very, very interesting that they are. It's not exactly based on Old Man Logan, that story, but it's. I don't want to say it's a loose adaptation, but it's an interesting way of getting Old Man Logan on the screen.
and I'm perfectly happy with it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this will be interesting when it does finally come out.
It's out March 3rd.
Yes. So you can also keep up with the countdowns on alteredgeek.com on the sidebar, because I've been kind of keeping tabs
Mm-hmm.
on the new movies coming out. It says Resident Evil right now. I'm only interested because I've watched all the other ones and it's the final one in the chapter and I want to see how they end it. I'm invested already, 5 movies, so the 6th movie is just adding, topping to it. And then, Lego Movie's next to come out,
Yeah.
and then Logan. And so, yeah, I'm pretty geeked.
Now, if people would like and are interested, they could, and I'll give you this link to put in the show notes. They can go back to, let's see, the second annual, yes, 3 years ago, the second annual Marvelous March on the Pull Bag, where my buddy Ryan, Positively Nerdy Porter, Positively Nerdy is his podcast. He and I talked about the original Chris Claremont Frank Miller Logan run, and we also talked about the Old Man Logan. So people can go back and listen to that if they'd like a taste of Old Man Logan, if no one has ever read it. I'm sure anyone listening to this probably has read Old Man Logan, but if you guys want to hear our thoughts on that, you can go back to the Pull Bag episode 64 to hear about Old Man Logan before the new film comes out, even though the new film really isn't Old Man Logan, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that.
So, yeah. Moving on, we have the Power Rangers movie. And specifically, I want to talk about... I'm going to ignore the dog snot that is Goldar. Because it literally looks like something my cat puked up on the carpet.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
And then there's Zordon.
Yes, there's Zordon.
Which is an interesting take on him.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give them that. I like Bryan Cranston's look as Zordon. So I'm fine with that. It's a little weird.
Yeah, it is very weird.
Because he like pops out of the wall like some kind of a weird CG, like instead of like the glowing blue orb.
Yep.
I mean, it's still his head.
Yeah.
I like the new origin that he was the previous Red Ranger like long time ago.
Yeah, I love the new origin story. I think that's really, really awesome.
And that Rita is the...
I hate that Rita. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care for the Rita costume. They could have done her up any different way that they wanted to. But I absolutely cannot stand that.
I don't mind it, but it's not what I would have imagined as the character. But same token, we have...
we finally get to see the Zords.
Yeah, you get to see the Zords, which... I have no general opinion of them because I don't find them very, I don't know, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just me, so I guess, the film's not for me, I should say. Yeah. So it doesn't really matter what I think. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this whole thing plays out.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm interested to see the film, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to. I have not put any nostalgia into this film because they did not put any nostalgia into this film for us. That there's no real.
It's a new Power Rangers movie, and
right.
I hear rumor has it Jason David Frank may be in it.
He may be in it, but they may just be saying that just because.
They're like, hey, that'll get people's butts in the seats.
Yeah. So somebody on Facebook did a Remember the Past, Embrace the Future kind of thing, where they compare the original poster to the new poster for the helmet head thingamajiggers. Just put that in there for you so you can see it. And I still like the original 5 helmets, profile shots of their heads from the original poster. The new version of it just looks too damn weird to me.
It looks more alien.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm more of a fan of the original
poster style, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm just a fan of the original,
I
don't know, costumes and a lot of the stuff pertaining to that. So, I mean, it's my nostalgia is showing. Pull that stuff up. So no, I mean I'll give it a pass, but I'm looking too much at nostalgia for this. I would have preferred. Now, if you look at the episode of Altered Geek that says what kind of Altered Geek are you, and it's got the Zordon image put together by I forget this guy's Twitter handle. but he does a lot of graphics like that.
Mm-hmm.
For websites for I wish I could remember his name. Killing me. Boss Logic.
There you go.
On Twitter. Well, I just happened to like something recently that he did. Like he redesigned like the Flash suit, and he redesigned like some other stuff. So I mean, he came up with that, but it's got Zordon in the blue hue, essentially,
Right.
which looks a lot better in my opinion. Oh, did you know Star Trek Discovery got delayed again?
Yes, I saw that.
I'm just loving the fact that it's getting delayed because it must be such utter garbage that they can't seem to get it to come out on time.
Yeah.
Because they're like, we have to keep rewriting. We have to fix this. And like Bryan Singer's already left the project.
You mean Brian Fuller?
Whatever.
They're not the same person, dude. Come on.
They both make rotten films now.
Oh, that's too funny.
I thought it was funny. I'm gonna get.
That's what I just said.
destroyed for it.
That's too funny. Oh crap.
So should we get to the giant elephant in the room?
Giant elephant. I don't remember something coming stampeding through here.
Stampeding through there.
Yes.
That was a good Ren and Stimpy joke.
Oh, it's just an elephant joke.
Yeah, it was in the room.
So, what is this giant elephant we have to talk about?
The new Adam Sandler movie on Netflix.
Oh God. Stop.
I've been making you hold on to this reaction for like an hour now, so I'm looking forward to actually hearing it.
Okay, let me. Adam Sandler movie. What the? Where is this?
The movie is called Sandy Wexler.
Yeah.
It's supposed to take place in the year 1994.
Yeah, and it's basically him as the water boy.
He mixed Billy Madison with the Water Boy.
Okay, yeah.
It's a lot more Billy Madison.
Yeah.
Which I would have been fine if it was Billy Madison, like reimagined as modern day.
Mm-hmm.
But he's supposed to be like this weird casting director that's like, he's like, I'm in the biz. And it's just awkwardly strange.
Yeah. Can Adam Sandler please stop making movies? Please?
You mean ones that are garbage?
No, please stop making films. I mean, like the guy, there are certain people that I feel that are just not, they've grown up or they've grown beyond certain things that they've done in the past, and returning to that past and not being able to recapture that, like Dumb and Dumber 2.
Well, you got to remember, he got a free pass.
I've never given Adam Sandler.
No, I'm saying Netflix gave him a free pass.
Well, yeah, but
so I blame Netflix for making him think that he's still relevant. But same token, I mean, it is Netflix's fault, but he keeps coming out with the same crap.
Yeah.
So is it really a surprise when they paid him for a 4-film contract deal, which still leaves one yet unnamed film that we have to be...
It'll probably be Bedtime Stories 2 or The Do-Over 2 or...
The Do-Over was god-awful.
Yeah, it was.
I would never... That film was so utterly bad that there's no way I would ever watch that again. You could not pay me to watch that again.
You could basically go to Steve's house with a suitcase with $1 million. He would not take it if he had to watch The Do-Over again.
I might for $1 million. If Adam Sandler came and forced me to watch it, I would watch it. But Yeah.
Yeah, no. I will say this right now, and everybody can disagree with me all they want. Adam Sandler and Kevin Smith, in their heydays, in the 90s, when they were doing the movies that they are well known for, Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, Waterboy, Wedding Singer, all that stuff is great. It's fine. It's wonderful. Kevin Smith, Clerks, Chasing Amy, Mallrats, Jay and Silent Bob, Dogma, Clerks 2, all the View Askew stuff is great. Anything else? Anything else Kevin Smith does, I don't give a crap. He directed the Supergirl Lives episode for this week for Supergirl, and the episode wasn't a bad episode, but it just I don't know. Like nothing Kevin Smith or Adam Sandler do or that they have done in the last 5 years, I don't get excited for this stuff anymore. Because they're not doing stuff that I feel relates to me or that I would enjoy. I tried watching Jay and Silent Bob's super groovy cartoon movie, and I just couldn't watch it because it was just too weird. Because it's been so damn long since those characters have been on screen. I don't even want Clerks 3 to happen now. I know it's going to eventually, but I don't want the damn thing to happen. I think Clerks 2, the ending of Clerks 2, was more than fine for his swan song for his View Askew universe. The same thing with Sandler. Anything Sandler has done in the last 5 years, I don't get it anymore. I've grown out of the humor of Adam Sandler. Now, can I go back and listen to the Goat skit from What the Hell Happened to Me, that album back in the 90s? Sure. Can I listen to the Hanukkah song? Sure. Can I listen to, what's the other one? The turkey song and all? Sure, I can listen to that classic stuff, and I can watch those classic films and enjoy them and laugh and have fun. But that's when I feel that person, Adam Sandler, or in Kevin Smith's case, Kevin Smith, that's when I feel that they were in their heyday and they were, making people laugh. I don't find anything about either one of those guys interesting. Especially when Kevin does these, I think we talked about this when it happened. You remember watching those DC behind the scenes things about the upcoming movies and all that? I think we did talk about this, but I'm going to talk about it again since I'm bashing on Kevin Smith. And I have no problem with the guy direct. I just don't think, for me personally, he is someone I need to follow anymore because it's nothing interesting. But it's like, I get it. DC or Warner Brothers or whoever is paying him to quote unquote host this thing with him and Jeff Johns. But Kevin has always said that he is a comic book guy. He's a geek. He's this, he's that. He should have been asking Jeff Johns some hard-hitting questions during that special, and he just let a lot of stuff roll off his tongue. Maybe that's because he was getting paid for it. I don't know. But I just don't... I don't know. My enjoyment for those two people in Hollywood is just kind of worn off. I'll get off my soapbox now.
Hey, good soapbox. So with that, I think we'll close out this episode with the awesomeness within, and we'll catch you next week. So until next time, get altered, get geeky with the Altered Geeks.